So this is the most important feature of token, if I guess, and obviously it's not very easy to understand. So we'll be discussing all those logics which we have on token one by one. So again, as I've told you, that if I've enabled team level auto allocation, I'll be able to select the allocation logic for a particular team, and every team can have different allocation logic. So that's one way. If not selected, you will be having one allocation logic for all your teams. So let's go by one. So first, one by one is something like the request will be first sent to the nearest agent from that location, then it will move to the next agent, then next agent, until and unless it is assigned to a particular agent, right? And we have few parameters, that is request expires in second, means there is the time where the agent gets to select that accept that task. So once the agent has received the request, there will be a timer going on, and within 30 seconds that request will expire and move on to the next agent. Number of retries is number of agents through which the request goes. For example, I've given here 8, so the request will go to 8 agents until and unless it is assigned, and if none of those 8 agents have accepted, the task will go as unassigned. Then we have two other parameters which will be common to all the allocation logics. One is default and captive agents. I'll be explaining this in the next freelancer feature when we discuss that. And then there is start allocation before time. So what this parameter does is, let's assume there's an order coming for food delivery, right? So food delivery orders are placed generally for instant delivery. For example, I'm booking an order for lunch. I want that order to be delivered right now, right? So I want, as soon as the order is created, the auto allocation should start, right? So this is 0 for all those cases. But in cases where there are future deliveries, for example, I want a furniture delivery or a food delivery for this case, take the case of food delivery. I booked an order for cake delivery tomorrow, right? Because the birthday tomorrow, I have booked the order right now, so that the admin and the restaurant gets an information that I have delivery for tomorrow. But once the order has been booked, the restaurant gets a notification for preparing the cake, but the agent should not be notified right now, because if the agent gets notification, the allocation will be based on current times and agent location, right? For example, I have booked a cake delivery order at my location in Chandigarh, sector 17, right? So if I assign the agent right now, the agent who is nearest to my location right now will be assigned the task, but tomorrow when the task has to be actually delivered, he might be somewhere else, right? So this doesn't make sense for future delivery. So we define a parameter here, for example 30 minutes. So if we define 30 minutes, so the order will be assigned, will be sent to assignment just 30 minutes before the actual time task time. So tomorrow, if the order has been booked for 6 p.m., the order will be sent to auto allocation at 5:30. So agent will be notified at 5:30 that there is an order for sector 17 Chandigarh and you have to deliver that order. The task will be visible to admin dashboard as soon as I place the order, but the agent will be notified just 30 minutes before the order actual time. So these two parameters are common to all the allocation logics. Next, moving on to send to all. Send to all is all the agents who are eligible for these orders will be sent the request at once, and whoever selects accept the request, it will be assigned to them, right? Again, we have these parameters which are common to all, and then there's request expiry time as well. Then coming to batch wise allocation logic. So this is the most popular logic which we have on Toucan, and not just on Toucan, in fact almost every on demand business uses batch wise mostly. So it's most common allocation logic for everywhere. So let me just give you a brief explanation of what is batch wise. So batch wise is something like the request goes in batches. So there is a batch created of a particular radius, and then there is an increment of that radius after every time. So let's say these are three parameters, that is distance parameter: start radius, maximum radius, and incremental radius. So for example, right now the start radius is 5 km, there's an increment of 0.1, and the maximum radius is 10 km. So As soon as the order is received, there will be a batch created of 5 kilometer radius, and all the agents within that 5 kilometer radius will get the notification of the task, right? And there's another parameter in time settings, which is batch processing time. So batch processing time is 20 seconds. So after 20 seconds, if no agent has accepted the task, a new batch will be created with this incremental radius, that is 5.1. So next batch will be created of radius 5.1, and all those agents within that radius of 5.1 will get the notification. And these radius keep increasing after the batch processing time until and unless we reach 10 kilometer radius. Either we reach the 10 kilometer radius, or either an agent has accepted the task, right? So these requests are sent in batches of radiuses, and agents are selected depending on the batch. There are a few other parameters as well. I have already explained batch processing time. Then there is request time, which is again the time which agent gets to accept or decline that request. Then there is batch size. Batch size is the number of agents who should get a request in one batch. So for example, I have set here as 10, right? So there might be possibility that in the first batch there are 20 agents, but if I have set the batch size as 10, so the request will be sent only to 10 agents at once, and then the next batch will be created. So that's how I define the batch size. And then there's maximum batch limit. Batch limit is the number of batches which should be created. So if I say this is the first batch, this second batch, and so on. So if I have defined as 5 limit, then the 5 number of batches will be created. And again there is retries. So retries is something like this is, if I start from first batch and go on till 5, that is one retry. If none of the agents have accepted in the first retry, I'll start again from the beginning and just go on one after another batch. So these are retries. I can define as maximum as 8 retries in one auto occasion. Then there is delay settings. So delay settings are something like, if I want to prioritize my free agents over my busy agents, I can use this. So for example, if I set here as 10 seconds, so basically if there are two agents, one is busy and with one task and other one is free, so if I want to give the priority to the free agent, I'll set here as 10 seconds is the delay notification. So once I receive the task, the free agent will get the notification then and there, but the busy agent will get a notification with a delay of 10 seconds. 10 seconds is multiplied with the number of tasks which I already have. So if I have one task, the delay will be 10 seconds. If I have two tasks, the delay will be 20 seconds. Depending on the number of tasks, the delay will be multiplied with the number of tasks. So that is delay settings, which basically prioritize your free agents with the busy agents, because obviously if the agent is free, he'll be able to deliver the task much earlier than the agent who already has the task. I can also define the maximum delay and maximum number of tasks which an agent can have. Then there is this pooling feature. So pooling is very common if you see other services as well, like Uber or Ola or any other ride services. They also have pool or share, which we call them. So basically two orders, if they are lying within the range of the parameters which I have defined here, they will be pooled and assigned to one agent. So how the Uber pool works is, but for example, if there is one ride going on from one location to another location, and there is another ride coming nearby the route of that first task, the second task will also be assigned to the same driver, and both the tasks will be completed by the same driver. So these are all the parameters which you define for pooling, and if those tasks satisfy those parameters, those tasks will be pooled and assigned to one agent. So let's discuss the parameters one by one. So there are a few parameters for distance. The first one is the threshold radius. Threshold radius is maximum distance between the agent and the second pickup. For example, I have already been assigned a task, I have started it, right? So I'm just about to deliver my first task, but then and there is second task coming off for pooling. So I'll first check the distance between my current location and second pickup, right? So that it's to ensure that I'm not very far, I've not traveled a lot and I have to come back to another location for the pickup. So it just ensures that if the location is within 5 kilometers of that my current location, then only the second pickup will be assigned or pooled to me. So this is the threshold radius. Besides that, we also have like parameters like the maximum distance between the two pickups or maximum between the both deliveries. So these are also the parameters, distance parameters. Then we have SLA. SLA is basically the total time which the task should take. For example, in pizza delivery there's a SLA of 30 minutes, right? So if I define the, let me first enable it. So if I define the SLA as 30 minutes, so only those tasks will be pulled when the tasks take the 30 minutes time to complete. So if there is a task, another task coming up, which might, if I pull, that will exceed the 30 minutes of SLA, that won't be pulled, right? So this is the time how we define the SLA. Then there are ETA at pickup, and then waiting time at first pickup, which are also the parameters for pooling, right? So configuring all those parameters, I can set my pooling logic, and then the task will be pooled, and this can improve the efficiency of the drivers and reduce the cost of operations. And then there is this parameter called send push to busy or busy agents first. So this is basically prioritizing that in pooling you want to push the notification to your busy agents, or you want to randomize it. Depending on that, whatever choice you have, you can just select it. So if you want to prioritize your busy agents, just select yes. If you want to randomize between busy and free agents, select no. So this was batch wise. Then we have round robin. So these two parameters, round robin and nearest available, these are forceful as allocation logic. So basically, so in round robin and nearest available, so the agents won't get an option, like multiple agents won't be assigned. There will be whoever is the best eligible agents, he'll be assigned the task. He does not get the option to like other agents won't get the option out of the two agents, one can accept it. The agent who is eligible will be assigned the task. Right. So how round robin works is basically there are two parameters while selecting the agents for round robin logic. One is distance, otherwise number of tasks which the agent already has. So the ratio is 4 to 6. So every agent who is eligible is given a rating based on these two parameters: number of tasks which he already has, and the other is the how far is the agent from the current location. And based on the rating priorities, the best agent is given the task. So this basically logic works as, for example, you have all the drivers who are working as your employees, right? So it doesn't matter that if every agent is just closest to the task, I'll be assigning all the tasks to them, because obviously I want to distribute the workload between all the employees which I have, right? So I'll be using round robin logic, in which I'll be distributing the load. I'll also want the fulfillment time to be less, but at the same time I also want that the load has to be distributed between my employees, right? Plus it also helps in the fulfillment time, because if an agent has already so many tasks in hand, he won't be able to deliver the task in time, even if it's very close to the location, right? So I basically distribute I use both these parameters, distance and number of tasks, and then I assign the agent depending on the priority, right? So 0.6 and 4 to 6 ratio is given to the number of tasks and the distance parameter, and who gets the best rating among all the eligible agents will be assigned the task. And there are a few other parameters. For example, if I enable this, the task will be assigned to offline as well as logged out agents. And so this other parameter, which is basically restart allocation if task decline. So this basically selects the agent and assigns the task. So even if that agent declines the task, if I have selected it, he'll be again, that auto allocation will run again and select the next best agent. Then I can also define the maximum distance for allocation logic. So beyond that distance, no allocation will be running. And priority to idle agent. So this is another parameter. So for example, right now we have chosen two parameters, that is distance and the number of tasks. There can be third parameter, that is idle time. So idle time is something like the time for which the agent has been idle, means the time between his last task and right now. So that is the duration called as idle time. So I can give the priority to idle agents. So this idle time will be the third parameter that will be acting for the allocation beyond number of tasks and distance. So I can enable that too, right? And these are the parameters which are already there in other allocation logics as well. So this was round robin. Next coming is nearest available. So nearest available is whoever is the nearest agent, I'll just assign the task to that particular agent. And I have parameters like radius, and these are the common parameters for all those machine learning logics. So this is again a forceful assignment. Next coming up is first in first out. So first in first out is basically built over and above the batch wise allocation. So all the parameters for batch wise are already there, but beyond that there is additional feature which is there in first out. So it works something like, so every request that is coming up is added in a queue, right? So for example, there's one order coming, then beyond that there's another one, after that there's another one, so there's a queue of orders. And until and unless the first order is assigned, other orders won't be pushed in auto assignment. So there's a queue. So until and unless the first order is assigned, others won't be pushed for auto allocation. So this is how the logic works. So the allocation logic will be same as batch wise. You can also see these parameters, these are same as batch wise, but the only difference is that there will be queue of orders, and the assignment will be based on the time of which the task has arrived. There is another thing that is called clubbing in FIFO. So clubbing is basically for all those orders who have same pickup and nearby deliveries, all those orders can be clubbed and sent to one one agent. So clubbing is similar to pooling, but only thing is it is only for same pickup, right? So for example, all the pickups are from same location and deliveries may vary or nearby, then only the orders will be clubbed. And another difference is that pooling is only for 2 tasks at maximum, clubbing can be more than 2, right? So you just define here the delivery distance. So if I define here as 5 kilometers, so pickup will be same and delivery distances can be within 5 kilometer range, right? And order threshold time is basically the preparation time. So for example, there's an order coming and order will be pushed for clubbing only, if I define here as 30 minutes, so order will be pushed for clubbing only after 30 minutes of the order receivement, because 30 minutes is the preparation time of that order. Clubbing again reduces the operational cost and optimizes the operations. So I think I've given you like explanation of all the allocation logics, and these are really important to understand the functioning of Toucan.